Shaw.
Here.
Commissioner Hightower.
Here.
Commissioner Webb.
Here.
Commissioner Goss.
Here.
And Mayor Butler.
Here. Minutes of the regular meeting of July 25th. Any addition or correction? If not, they will be approved. Okay. Item number 1, discuss electronic recycling to be held at Marion Training Center, October 2016. What's that about?
Well, this is something Commissioner Goss and I did in April of 2015, and we seen a tremendous need for it. We filled up a semi-tractor trailer load at half of TVs just like you got, and still use.
Well, why were they getting rid of them if they're like the one I've got?
They didn't all buy them from me. They aren't still working, so they still work.
They realized that they could find more TV channels if they didn't have the tubes, and they had
Well,
digital
I
high definition TVs.
must be the only one in Marion that cannot get the city channel, channel 16. Now, they've got 96-2, which I cannot get on my set. So there is something wrong with this picture.
Well, anyway, getting back to the recycling, and
You're not going to recycle my beautiful console.
John and I would be glad to come by and pick that up if we go into this event.
You guys couldn't pick that up if your life
Well,
depended
we'll bring
on it.
Jim and Angelo. But anyway, we've seen the need for it. I just got an email from them last week. They don't do it during the summer because of the heat, and they start back up after September.
Who are we talking about? Who's they?
CD,
Yeah, is it the same one we use?
yes, CDE or something, same one that the county uses.
Same one we had last year, and I
Yeah.
still don't know the name.
I want to say it's
CDE.
CDE. I think.
CDE.
Yeah.
CDE.
Yeah, they're out of St. Louis,
Yeah.
but anyway, they'll come down here, they'll bring all the crates and everything, and they'll stack them, they'll rack them,
How
and
much are they going to pay us?
they're not going to pay us, Mayor. There's a big, and this is the thing about it, because you can't recycle electronics. It's one of those things that, we're just doing our residents of Marion a favor and giving them the opportunity to bring their electronics to a place where they can get rid of them at no cost.
When do we put this program into play?
Well, we've already did it once. I guess my question to the council is it's probably going to cost maybe up to $4,000.
I don't even think it was that much. I don't think it'll be that much. I think last time we got hit with a lot of big TVs and a lot of different things, so we can do some control on that, and we should be fine.
I think a lot of ours was the old tube TV sets and the glass tubes.
Yeah.
And no offense, but that's what they charge you for extra.
Yeah, I mean,
But most of those were given up. We've only got a couple left in town.
He's got one.
Yours and mine.
so anyway, I'm just, my
Okay.
question I
It's a
posed to
good
the
move. council
is, do we want to obligate money out of public affairs to
Should come out of this gas tax.
It'll come out of gas tax
So-
when we're through.
and I'll get back in contact with him. We can do this one weekend in October.
Sounds good.
And
I'm for that.
I'll ask the city to,
I would-
The says we did budget for it, but it was under programs,
Yeah.
under public affairs, not that.
I would suggest you do that around October
how much?
31st.
you know how much?
No, I don't,
But we did put some,
I know we did allocate some back for it.
Okay.
Past experience, like with the county, if you don't do something like that, you'll end up picking them up off the side of the streets a lot
Right.
of times.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
that's what we don't want.
Must be done, I suggest the weekend of October the 31st.
Why?
Halloween. Boy.
That figures.
Okay,
That's,
we're going to go with it, yeah.
Okay, we're good.
I mean, yeah, if it's
We need a
budget,
motion in, or?
yeah. I'd like to, I talked to the lady and she said it wouldn't be any more than $4,000.
Okay,
So
that's your
my
motion.
motion would be to appropriate up to $4,000 for an electronic recycling program.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, Water Commissioner, what's this about reimbursement of what's water tire?
I'm actually going to let the treasurer, is this, yeah, we're going to address all this on TIF.
Yeah. Back in 2009, the Water Department borrowed $3,590,000, had a bond issue, and it was a General Obligation Bond Series 2008. And with that issue, they did several projects at the time, which the biggest project being the elevated tank out there,
the hill.
by the highway, right there up on the hill. And that total of that expenditure was little over $1,775,000. Then we had some other work that was done also with some some water lines and some water mains, et cetera. Well, with the looking at our capital projects that we have coming up, knowing that, and so I did a summary, took the bond proceeds and kind of saw where that money was spent, and then got together with Scott Connell and Glenn, and then Glenn outlined which of those projects actually were in the TIFs. And then once we realized how much was in the TIFs, then we consulted with Tom Jacobs, our TIF consultants, and said, hey, we have some additional funds available we didn't realize we were going to have at the time that these projects were done and paid with bond money. Is there any way can the TIFs reimburse the water department? And the answer was yes, we can. And so we took two projects, with the elevated tank being by far the largest one. The other ones, I think 106,000 was a water line. And so according to them, we can then take our TIF monies and we can reimburse then the water department for those funds that were
For the
spent.
total amount.
For the total amount, yes.
And this will allow us to, and, when we made our priorities, our number one priority was to redo our metering system.
Yeah.
And, because ours is aging, some of those meters are 20-plus years old, they're at the end of their life cycle, so this will allow us enough monies to do that. And I think Brian's got some more figures that he can present to the council. You just got one copy?
Well, before we get into that, what do you need, a motion from the
Yeah, I checked with
authorizing the transfer?
Yeah, I checked with the consultants, and they said all we need is council to formally approve the transfer of funds.
Okay, that's your
That's my
motion.
motion.
Second.
Call roll.
Commissioner Vanella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay, now go.
No, Brian's redid the cost of the estimated cost of the
Probable cost
improvements.
to do that,
Yeah,
okay.
so we got engineering at $262,000, and
Well, the 262 is what's in the TIF. Remember before we
Yeah.
passed on TIF projects, 440,000? As we re-looked at that, how many meters were in there? 262, but really, for what you guys just did, now you can afford to basically do the whole town's new meters and new system to where it's all, you don't actually have to go out and read it anymore. It's the whole
Yeah.
system to read up.
Sounds
and
good,
this,
okay.
and this, I don't want to get into technology here with you, but these meters read back to each other. They're on
Oh, that's great.
system.
That's great. This meter knows how much water this one is using, and the
No.
other guy knows how much he's using. Is that right?
Basically, and then they go to a collection point. Here's where it's gonna get tough for you. That then goes to a cloud that we can then, the cloud then sends that data back into the water office, and we can look at your water meter every 15 minutes and see how much water you're using at
Where
your
is
house.
this cloud that you're talking
It
about?
just hovers over the hub.
Is it a rainmaker?
It's Rainmaker,
There's
yes.
another white cloud that runs.
So, anyway.
I think it's raining on somebody's parade right now.
Now, Anthony, for me to understand this, so this, to do all the meters, you're talking about additional TIF dollars, or is this?
Oh, no, this
Okay.
covers it all.
So this will
right?
be your portion of the TIF?
Yes.
Okay.
The 1.7 included what you guys really approved for before, for him, what you
Yeah.
440 or something.
Yeah.
1.7 includes that.
Okay.
Just rather than just doing part of it and having two metering systems, trying to read that, have it all meshed together, this takes care of the whole thing.
Okay, well, this it frees up the TIF money that we were trying to allocate previously. Is that right? Right. Yeah, okay, good,
Yep.
good.
So we don't need any motion on this. This is to show you just
Yeah.
the estimation in cost. So we'll have to move on that later because we haven't
Okay.
dead set, you know, we're 99.9% sure which direction we're leaning, but, you know,
Yeah.
we'll finalize that later on, probably in the month.
When you find that cloud, I wish you'd tell me about it.
I will.
Okay, sanitary sewer, storm sewer. You got that, Angelo?
No, that's,
Well, it says sanitary and storm sewer.
Well, the low bid on that would be student form.
yeah, this is the actual lining of sewers in the
Yeah,
TIF district.
let's, Glenn, why don't you explain this to us, Glenn? He's got them all tied in together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 1,250 feet of 12-inch sanitary sewer on South Market Street, starting there where the library and going down to Allen Street, about 1,250 feet, and fixing the, and tying in the laterals, sealing those up, and lining that. And then for the storm sewers, we had two. We had a 15-inch that's lies east of the VA, goes under some driveways out to Bainbridge. That's to be relined because it goes under driveways and fences and everything. You can't get to it. And then there's 650 feet over on Fossey Road, Hunter's Run. It's on the east side of the road, and it runs down to where the big ditch is. It's 36-inch diameter concrete. All the joints are open. Dirt's falling in. The yards are collapsing in there, and Doug's having to go out and fill up the yards, and it's a mess. So we got that's the three locations for the sewer relining.
Now, these are not part of the TIF expenditure,
No,
right?
no,
Okay.
this is not part of the TIF. This is coming out of gas tax.
Okay, your low bidder was,
Easy catch
In
it.
situ form.
Situ form.
Yeah, I think we had 4 bids. And we got some good bids too, by the way, but
Yeah.
they were, got a break on those.
it's interesting, low bidder seems to have been from Chesterfield, Missouri.
That's correct.
And then the next lowest bid was from Outfit Me St. Louis, and the next was from O'Fallon, Missouri. Boy, what happened? We only had one bidder from Illinois.
That's
And he was the
Marion.
highest one.
He was the highest one.
Yeah, 152,000.
There's a reason for that too. He just bought new equipment. He hasn't been in this, that would have been his first job, and he wasn't sure of what kind of numbers I think to put in.
So he was substantially higher than the rest, maybe.
Yeah, but the low bidder is well known.
Well, the low bidder did work for us 15 years ago on that 15-inch VA line that we've had really good luck with. And they've been in business, they were one of the first firms to get into the sewer lining business. They've been around for years.
Sounds good. So what's your motion?
My motion is to accept the low bidder of in situ form for $126,071.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay, what's the shingles on the shack at the sewer plant?
I'll give a brief explanation, but I'll probably be abstaining because one of the bidders owns the insurance company I work for. But this is a project that he's been wanting to do a while. He said he has the money for it in the budget, but I'll leave it to you guys to vote and discuss it further, because like I said, it's a conflict for me.
Well, cost here is proposed to be $24,450. Boy, is the roof that we've got keeping any water out?
I think he mentioned something about it being like 20 years or so old, that it was in need of repair, and so they're going to go ahead and take care of it now that they have the money for it, budgeted.
Okay, budgeted, but do we have the money?
Yes, he has the money.
Okay,
Yeah, it's sewer, yeah, the water department's carrying him on their back, so yeah, they got the money.
Yeah.
So, there you go, get me going again.
okay, I'm
Just
glad
calm me
you're
down.
full of the milk of human kindness.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's your motion?
Second.
Well, that's not my motion.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Okay,
Second.
got a second.
Who's on first?
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Abstain.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
And Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay, Jim, tell us about the firefighters grant award.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to, for the council approve to accept assistance to firefighters grant award. It's for $17,000 with only a 5% cost share, and if my math's correct, it's a little over $8,000, or $800 would be our part. So, but anyway, in the next line item, we'll discuss how we're going to spend that, but for now, it'd be just a motion to accept this grant.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay, okay.
And this next line item would be to approve to expend the funds from the assistance to the firefighters grant to purchase a battery-operated extrication tools for the fire department. And talking to Jerry, this will be tools put on the new fire trucks.
Are we talking about jaws?
Yes.
That type
Jaws of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could be very important at
Okay.
some point in time. So.
I'll second that.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Now, Jim, how you going to justify buying a 2017 Explorer to replace a Dodge that got flooded?
Don, you want to come forward?
Oh, here we go, high water.
Don't our people know that you don't drive through water,
Well, you know,
particularly when it's waist high?
sometimes it sneaks up on you.
Hey, before she gets started, I'd kind of like to say, too, that I'd like to congratulate her on our new, or our police chief she's second vice president of the National Association of Women's Law Enforcement Executives. So appreciate her doing that.
Yes, sir.
So does that mean we get the car?
Now, just because you got that recognition, that award, doesn't mean we're going to give you a break.
No, heavens no.
Okay,
I was hoping.
One thing
as long as that's understood.
these Explorers are only like a 1,000 or 2,000 more than a sedan, aren't they? So it's really not a big difference.
Yeah, they're just much more practical for the officers. And actually, my plan is, since this car's flooded anyway, it's not worth the money to put a new engine in. So with the third K-9 guy we have getting ready to graduate this week, if we get the new Explorer, I'm actually going to give it to the K-9 and make it the third K-9 vehicle. It's much more practical for the K-9 dogs.
Okay,
I'll second that.
Okay, I'll make that my motion.
I'll second it.
call the roll.
Does it sit higher up off the ground?
Yes. Yes.
How deep do you want?
Make sure the engine is up high enough that when our,
It's higher, so hopefully no
yeah.
flooding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe they ought to put the engine on top of the hood and,
Maybe.
This is all due to that rain cloud we was talking about, by the way.
It's that cloud.
That cloud's full.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
yeah,
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
yay. Okay. Tell us about the bullet-resistant vests.
Our bullet-resistant vest, they last 5 years. We just had a group of officers and a couple new hires we had to get vests for. So what we want to do is the drug fund pays for the vest, so we just need the approval to pay for them out of the drug fund, and we'll get about half the money back from our bullet-resistant vest grant. But that check may not come, it may be a few months.
Will these vests stop at 45
Yes,
and 9 millimeter,
yes.
30-30?
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, you know a lot of this, don't you?
I've never seen one yet that could stop a rifle bullet.
No.
That's okay, what's your pleasure?
This would be my motion to do so.
How many will this buy, Dawn?
This is for 7.
7?
Are these going to be puncture-proof by chance, or?
I don't know if they are or not.
They'll
I don't know
stop
if any of
at
them
22, I think.
I don't know if any of them are totally puncture-proof, but they're definitely, I mean, it definitely helps.
I'll second the motion.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay.
Number 9, we,
Hey, if I could say something real quick, Mayor? Over the last couple of weeks since the shooting in Dallas, I don't know if anybody looks at our Facebook, but we've been just flooded with citizens bringing in cards, kids bringing in cards, pictures, groups bringing in food to the police department, feeding their officers. Today, Pastor Lee's Church, Refuge Temple, and Cook Portable Warehouse, they partnered up and they catered us lunch from Bandanas, barbecue. Blue Cross Blue Shield bought us a big poster all the employees have signed. So I just kind of wanted to, thank the businesses and the citizens of Marion for showing their support for the police department. And this Thursday night, the miners are having a stand-up for the Blue Night at the ballpark. Tickets are $5. Part of the money that they raise is going to go to the Carbondale Wounded Officers Fund to help with the officer that was injured, that was shot over there. And also, the miners we've had these hats made, so the miners are going to wear hats from local police departments. So I got them a couple Marion Police Department hats made that they're going to wear during the game. And our K-9, Shea, is going to do a 5-10 minute demonstration before the ball game that night. They're going to be handing out some...
Possibility she might be able to do the first pitch, too.
I don't know, maybe. They're going to hand out, Fowler's is buying in blue, support your local police bracelets to hand out. Someone else has bought T-shirts they're going to give out, I think, to the first 750 people that come in the stadium. So the miners are doing that to support law enforcement. And also, an appreciation to our local businesses because the National Child Safety Council sent out letters for donations for the police department for us to buy literature to use for when we go talk to kids, teenagers, or seniors. And I bought some of the books you can buy with this money. We've received from our local business. This is just from our local businesses. We've received over $8,000. So, and it buys books like we have these for identity theft, and these are nice books. Senior safety. Teenagers about drugs, bicycle safety. I've already used these at a presentation at Boynton Street Community Center. So, I just wanted to thank our businesses for supporting us in this.
This is fantastic. It just, I think, indicates the depth and the width of the support in the community for our police officers.
Yeah, most definitely. And we feel it, and the guys, the guys can't always say it because they're dealing with people out in the public, but we've been putting posts on our Facebook acknowledging people that are bringing us things. But, I just wanted to say publicly how much we do appreciate it.
Yeah. And also that sentiment extends to other communities, because I know Carterville's done it, and actually prior to all the police shootings, they've been pretty good with the outpouring of support.
Yeah.
So this pro-police sentiment is really good, and it's region-wide too, so that's a good
Right.
thing.
So,
Well, the only sad thing about it is it's like when 9/11 occurred and that same type of outpour went out to firefighters, that were the 343 that died there in the
Right.
World Trade Center. It's sad that we have to have the tragedies that we've had in the shootings in Dallas and Carbondale and Baton Rouge, for people to acknowledge the jobs that these, Carbondale, the guys that, they go to work every night wearing a bulletproof vest, and for a
Right.
particular reason, because it's a dangerous job out there. And one of the things that we're seeing nationwide, and we can attest to that here in Marion, because of these things, they're not signing up to be on the eligibility list anymore and take the test.
Yeah, our numbers were halved this year on people applying.
I know Williamson County's having a
It was cut in
problem right
half.
now, too.
Yeah, it was cut in half.
And that's sad that, it's gotten to the point that the people that protect us, we can't get good applicants because of the dangers that are out there. For
Right.
those
Now, wait, let's hold on here a minute. You say we can't get good applicants. You don't mean to disparage those who do apply.
No, I'm not, but
Yeah, well, what-
let me rephrase that.
Good.
The number of applicants is down tremendously, and it's sad that's transpiring. No, it's nothing to take away from those that have, but, I've been on the other side there too, and, you got to look closely at the individuals you're trying to hire and get, when we hire somebody, we want at least a 20-year investment of that person.
Right.
And that's 25, and it's, you just got to pick the right person, and the more applicants you get, the better the pool you will have. So, I mean, that's, in essence, that's what I meant. I'm taking nothing away from those that have applied. They're good people, and I commend them for wanting to be in that profession or a firefighter, because they're dangerous professions.
What we are getting into is much like the volunteer armed services that the nation has. There is no draft. Of course, we've never had a draft or conscription for city firemen or police. So it's getting into, it's an all volunteer proposition.
Right.
And those who apply, whether they make it or not, need to be commended for making the effort.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are scary times, so. But, I talked to Evie Allen from Channel 3 today. She was asking about the vest, and, if we were getting these just because of what's happening, and I told her, the city of Marion has always been very safety conscious and has always given us what we need to protect our officers. We've had vests forever. So, and we appreciate that you guys do give us the money to buy what we need for the officers to keep them safe. So,
Well, I
but
mean,
like I said,
you look at our police station, our officers, you look at our fire station, the equipment that's in there, and for anybody not to say that the city of Marion doesn't invest in those departments, and then that return to its citizens
Right.
and business.
oh, yeah. I mean, we have some of the best equipment around now, so, and so we can provide the best service we need to the citizens and to the businesses that come to Marion. So, hopefully, they appreciate it and we appreciate it. So, but I just wanted to, take a minute to tell the citizens and the businesses, thank you for their support.
Well, it's a great effort across the board between the city, the officers, the business community, and the citizens. As usual, I think Marion is on the cutting edge and leading the way. After all, we are the hub of the universe. So we thank you.
That's right.
Okay, item 9, it's already been taken care of. We don't need to mess with that.
They did that last week.
Item 10, ordinance approving vacation of a part of Cocopella Villas. Have you got that, Gail?
No, I think Lynn or Brian.
Oh,
Is that in your packet?
Yes.
As you go into the Cocobelly subdivision, you recall the villas there on your left first. The vacation ordinance you have there is when that was first platted, there was, what they're developing now, you probably see I'm looking at Commissioner Goss is there, is kind of hatched area there, was actually part of that original subdivision. So we need to take it out of that subdivision to basically re-subdivide it. So that's what the vacation is. I think it's called an outlot. I don't remember what, I don't have it in front of me.
Outlot C.
LLC. So we're vacating that out of the original Cocobelly Villas subdivision. And then, of course, your following ordinances are actually approving what should also be in your packet there, the new subdivision. So what the developers are proposing to do is villas just like that first phase. So this is just a second phase of that grassed area, that triangle piece there. And it's part of that plan unit development. So I'm not sure you have listed here Cocobelly Villa subdivision phase 2, accepting that subdivision, but then also accepting the plan unit development. I don't know if you need both ordinances or not for that.
Well, is there any downside to doing this?
No, it's just a continued development. It's actually already zoned for what this is proposed to be, so.
It looks like we're vacating streets and lots both, right?
Yes, whatever is it. Well, what you're seeing there is outlot C.
Yeah.
The lots and stuff in there actually were just grayed out as future. So really, there was just one outlot that was there in that subdivision. That was just,
They were never officially dedicated.
right. Sometimes on a subdivision, we'll show a future phase, but we're really not,
Division.
dedicating those rights of way. So that was just shown there, but it's really just an outlot.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
I'd make that motion.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Okay, proposed ordinance 3345.
That would be this. There you are.
The 3345 and 3346, I believe, really are kind of the same thing. Again, since it doesn't meet our zoning, like the rest of it, we call it a plan unit development, so it also has its own somewhat rules as far as setbacks and stuff. Of course, those villas are set up on, on a property line, the way they're developed, which is basically the plan unit development is the subdivision, which is exactly like it was the first phase. So there's no change from that and those rules that follows. So this, you have 11 here, Gail. So really, I think you're actually only needing 3346. Ordinance accepting subdivision plat as
Okay.
Cocobelly Villas
You
subdivision
don't
phase
need
2.
to mess then with 45.
Right.
I'd make a motion to accept ordinance 3346.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
And Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay. Ordinance approving accepting plat of dedication right-of-way Robinson Road from Shane Lane to North Corbin. Who's got that?
Glenn.
Should be in your packet up there. That was the thing that was discussed previous meeting ago concerning getting the right-of-way for the 15-inch storm drain pipe that goes from the strip mine pit north of Morgan Avenue or the Hill Avenue back down to, that's tying on to, it's called Robinson Road. It starts at Russell Street, and this extension that they're dedicating will take it over to Shane Lane now. And I think that was part of the council's request for getting the approval for putting that 15-inch storm drain line.
This is mitigates the flooding in local areas. Is
It
that-
keeps the water from running down through the residential area and coming out on Princeton Street, and we're diverting it to a storm sewer west to the big drainage ditch under Morgan and out that way, and for the residents lying on the north side of Princeton.
Oh, this doesn't pump out the strip pit or anything like that, then?
It's now to maintain a level in the strip pit. That strip pit's fed by underground water, and even in dry weather, it will rise up, okay? And we're going to have a 15-inch pipe there that collects that water and lets it drain out, maintaining a level. So if we get a big storm or heavy rain, we've got capacity for detention in that pond then.
But it is natural flow, though. It's not pumped. It's just natural flow.
It's natural flow that goes out, and tests have been run on the water, and it's good.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
I move
Yeah,
we
I
adopt
thought we
3347.
did away with Shade Lane.
Well, part of the south part we did.
Yes.
But the north part has to remain open.
Yeah, it's still open.
Yeah.
Yeah, the north part will.
Eventually, at some time, we're gonna bring the road around and
Yeah.
connect.
And
back in.
then we haven't vacated Shane Lane yet
No.
until we get the road put in, and there's several things we got to do to go through that.
Okay.
I make
Okay, we got a motion made.
I'll second it.
Call roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay, part-time hub employees.
There's a sheet in your packet for 3 part-time hub employees. We had a lot of lifeguards going back to college, so we've had to, we're picking up some new lifeguards. And so we have Nikki Evan as a lifeguard, Carly Cook as a lifeguard, and Jamie Wing would be a wellness attendant. They would be part-time, less than 19 hours.
What's your pleasure?
I'll make that motion.
second.
Call roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Okay, what's this Plantscape Nursery out at the pavilion? What's that about?
This is a continuation of the outside landscaping. The council might recall during budget time, Jared had asked for, this was in the budget, and the job cost is $11,318.30, and it was, that amount was put in the budget. So this is,
Was it in the budget?
yes,
Yeah,
I remember, yeah.
yeah,
I think it's 15. At least 15.
Yeah.
But there are some, and Plantscape.
He was asking for more.
Yeah, and the second page after the bid that has the details on the plants and the trees and the root stimulator there's like 2 pages that show where the plants will be planted. The nice part about Plantscape is they've given us a lot of great recommendations and come back and done a lot of work on just making sure everything's growing right and guaranteeing their work.
Well, that was a question I was gonna ask you. Do they guarantee these? Good.
Down to the fact they've even
Most
come
of them
out,
will
yeah.
for a year.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And we've been using Plantscape for several years.
Right. Yeah, most of them will guarantee their plants for up to a year.
I make a motion, we approve that bid for Plantscape for 11,318.
I'll second that motion.
Before we vote, I'd like to look at some of the names of this stuff. Saybrook Gold Jubilee, Sarah's Favorite Crepe Myrtle, Loblolly Pine, Golden Weeping Willow. Does anybody know about any of that stuff?
Yeah.
I like the Sarah's Favorite Crepe Myrtle. Why don't they have Dorothy's Crepe Myrtle?
That's really a deep question.
Well, I thought so. And then down here, we got compost and manure.
You know what that is?
Oh, you know about that.
I get it here all the time. And then they talk about decorative landscape stone, Merrimack, 20 tons. Where are they going to put 20 tons of rock?
They're using it for part of the area where we've had a lot of drainage problems, and so it will prevent some of the erosion where some of the where the loblolly pine trees are being planted.
See, they're right here, so blah,
Oh,
blah.
I see, yeah. Okay, we got a motion and second. Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler?
Yay. Now, this next one is a discussion of material pertinent to Hillary Clinton,
Yes.
email retention.
Well, we're looking at it as material to meet some of the requirements of the Illinois Local Records Act, which talks about the retention of email correspondence and for how many years we have to maintain it. Terrence has been working on this policy. I just kind of polished a few things up to go with some of our policies. We need to roll out, we had session by one of our representatives of the state this past year about Illinois local records. And one of the things we need to do, because we have lots of emails that go through the city and through all of our employees, we have to have a retention policy with having people characterize if the emails are routine, if they are administrative, if they're dealing with budget or fiscal correspondence or general correspondence. So people have to sort emails and put them in the appropriate folders. And Terrence, would you like to speak to any of this?
You can do it.
Hand off.
Yeah, just to hand off what Gail was saying, we already have some software and things that are in place that kind of helps categorize some of the emails and things that that the employees are doing. Once we adopt a policy, it's going to help us out tremendously as far as storage, and it's also going to work on the what is it? Oh, I forgot. Transparency. I'm sorry. It'll also help in retrieval. Yes.
So eventually, will employees be responsible for putting emails in the correct folders, or will that be automatically done through a software?
It'll all be done in a software. You know, they'll have a little subject line. Let's say for general correspondence. You know, normally general correspondence is something that we have to keep for about a year. And anything could be general correspondence of like me emailing you saying, hey, Jim, what are you doing tomorrow for lunch? Well, that's general correspondence. There's no need for me to keep that for 12 years.
Okay.
You know, I should be able to purge that to make room on the server for other things that are more important. And so the software and things we have will automatically delete that.
So even if a person deletes it, you still have it in your records.
That is correct.
Right.
Yeah, we have an archiving system, and so if there's things that needs to be recalled, there's easier ways now that I can recall it. Several other people within the city can also recall those emails, so there's several check and balances and things that are in place, so we can retrieve those emails and also free up a lot of space on the server.
Did you say 12 years?
I just said 12 years, just as
We're
a...
like 7.
For general correspondence is 1 year.
Yeah, well, okay, so what is the arbitrary figure beyond that?
Well, you've got general correspondence...
Generally speaking, for governmental records, it's 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, but the general understanding is with electronic communication, some of the communication should probably be characterized as a governmental record. Technically, it is because it was generated by me, but if I send him an email saying, let's meet for lunch, that's not really governmental business. So the state is recognizing that there is a need to be able to have the media who may want to see the communication between us, and that for transparency and balance the need for us to be able to maintain these records. The amount of electronic communication that I imagine the city goes through is tremendous. And if you were to try to keep this 7 years, you would have to buy servers all the time.
Well, we have the software to take all this stuff that is coming in and keep it.
Yes. Yeah, currently with a lot of the software and a lot of things that we have going in place, I'm gonna just guess, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm gonna say around 12 to 15,000 emails per month that goes through our systems.
Holy
And that's all emails, that's all city employees, that's all correspondence, and each one of those, you know, have to have their own degree of filtering and everything else. So there's a lot that goes along with it. So this will help us establish that policy.
Okay.
And I believe Steve's looked it over and all that good stuff, so we're okay with that part.
Have all the commissioners had time to digest the
Yes.
retention policy?
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your pleasure?
I mean, we approve the retention policy.
I'll second that motion.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay.
By approving these, what we'll do is have meetings with employees on email retention, and then we want to incorporate this into the handbook. The employee handbook is an ordinance into itself. So usually until all of the unions have settled their contracts, we don't revise the employee handbook. So we're still waiting on one union for settling a contract after arbitration. And so the email retention policy, by the council approving it, that gives the teeth to say for the whole city it would be following the same policy. So that's one, just making sure you know that's going to be incorporated in the city handbook.
Okay, so item 17, have you all had a chance to digest the proposed policy?
Okay, social media guidelines are similar to, this would be incorporated in the in employee handbook. We would like to have a policy. We've gone through some of these. We have a number of city websites. We also have, some of our departments have Facebook sites. And so Terrence and I kind of worked through this. Terrence, we did a lot of the work on this, about trying to give guidance of how we set up social medias and who can do it and how it's kind of a procedure.
I think this is really important.
Yeah.
We don't want to have everybody to have access to the Facebook or whatever for city purposes.
Right.
This ought to be only through the superintendent?
Or the designated person in each rifle department.
As an administrator for each
That's right.
department.
And we also don't want a lot of city employees, or, any employee to go out and start up their own Facebook page on behalf of the city. So it's also about protecting the brand as well.
Is that covered here?
Yes.
Yes, it
What
is.
about their person? No, go ahead.
It prohibits city employees setting up their own personal.
Well, they're
For business
have their
purpose.
own personal.
That's
It
my question.
prevents them from having one that would be called the City of Marion
Sewer
site.
department.
Sewer department or Public Works.
So this is
This is for our city department.
right, so Joe Smith, if he wanted his own, you know, I mean.
Yeah, we have
You can't
nothing-
regulate it, right,
No.
okay.
No, we have nothing to do with any city employee, what they do when they're not on the clock and all those sort of, that's their personal
Well,
deal there for that.
no, I don't agree with that. I mean, if a city, even if an employee has their own Facebook page and they start making defamatory remarks about the city and/or another employee, then I think the city has the right to address that. I believe there's been court cases that allowed employers to do such things. Is that not right?
It depends upon what was said, whether it was a matter of public concern. Just because I'm a city employee doesn't mean I give up my freedom of speech, for example. But I can also be disciplined for inappropriate comments that I might make if I am, say, a confidential employee and I, disseminate information during a period of time that we're in union negotiations.
And we do have it on, looks like on page 4, item D here, that talks about off-duty use of social media.
Right.
So we have a little provision in there as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that we've already terminated an employee for such action for offensive language used towards other individuals
Right, you can
through his, yeah.
Right. Abusive behavior, abusive language, stuff like
Right.
that.
Okay.
You have the right to do something about that. But like I said, if I'm speaking out on a matter of public concern, that you can't prohibit.
No.
I notice we have a signature. Are we going to cause every city employee to read this and sign it?
No, I mean, that's not my intention to have every city employee.
Who's this going to affect? It says here, if you choose to go public with your opinions, videos, cartoons, personal behavior,
Which number?
online discourse of any nature and type, you are acknowledging and agree you are personally legally responsible for your commentary and the content of any items you post, and such posted, and this, once posted, any information be assessed, viewed, monitored, or copied.
Yes. So with that part there, we're just holding the,
Well, then I think the intent there is I am not going to be able to bind the city to my own comment. I'm responsible for the things that I post on my own personal blog. I might be the superintendent, but, you know, if I make a comment on my own Facebook page, I'm going to be responsible for those comments individually.
That's right.
Okay, I guess my question is, who is going to be required to sign this?
The designated officer or person who will be taking care of the social media. Let's say for the police department, you've got Tina. Tina Morrill takes care of all of their Facebook, social media. So Tina will look at this, she will sign this, she will acknowledge this, she's responsible for that page.
Oh, okay,
Whereas the rest
so-
of the
Hillary.
Are we saying that only those city employees who signed this document?
who are working with our social media pages.
Oh, yeah, so that it's going to be limited in number.
It will be limited in number.
Yes.
Has to be,
Policy in general will apply to, I mean, anybody we've had people who have used Facebook and stated things on city time about city employees
Right.
on their own Facebook.
And this will be in the city handbook. so
Yes, and this will be in the city handbook. The signature wouldn't be in the city handbook, but the policy.
well, the
would be.
signature line could be.
Yeah, the policy in general would be.
Okay, I think we're going to need to tighten that up at some point, because I'm concerned that there'll be some city employees who have not signed this, who are not supervisors, who are commenting about city business, city personnel on Facebook or something else.
Well, if this is going to get incorporated into our employee handbook, when we all receive our employee handbook, we always have to sign it in. So at that point, we acknowledge everything that's in an employee handbook.
Well, hang on there. You can sign it and say you've read it. That doesn't mean you acknowledge it and you agree with it. That's a good point. Yeah.
And again, you know, it's some of the protections that I'm a city employee, but I don't give up all my constitutional rights.
Absolutely.
right.
Well, no.
Absolutely.
It's got.
Sure.
Yeah.
The only thing we can ask them to do is to read it. They do not have to agree with it.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, I don't care if they agree or not, they're going to be responsible.
Right.
If they violate the provisions, they are responsible, whether they like it or not, whether they agree or not.
Unless it violates the constitutional principle.
No, don't give me that constitutional cop-out. No, that's a cop-out.
Copy of the Constitution.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want to give us advice, so I mean, that's
Yeah,
good.
look, if you want to criticize the city, then quit. Get out in the private sector. But now, I think, are entitled, what about this side of the table? Aren't we entitled to a little consideration?
You're a public figure.
Oh, my lordy, another cop-out. Just because you're a public figure,
I don't think I want to be.
I gotta agree with Steve. I mean, like it, don't like it, they have their right to freedom of speech.
Sure.
And,
And we have the right to terminate them.
well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean,
Wait a minute.
they have the right to due process too.
That's exactly right.
That's right, and due process will follow their butt. As long as they,
Moving on.
Yes. Was there a motion on that?
Is that with two Ts?
I guess we're tabling this for further discussion.
okay.
I don't see any reason
All right.
council to table it.
I think
Well, who said anything about tabling it?
Angelo just asked if,
Angelo, for once, said something right.
Yes, yes. And is that your motion? He agrees that you said something right for a change. so-
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't hear that.
I was paraphrasing it anyway.
Okay. All that having been said, what is your pleasure?
I made a motion to approve item 17.
I'll second that motion.
Call roll.
Commissioner Manella. Manella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Now, the motion was to approve the social media guidelines,
Yes.
not item 17.
I was trying to be brief.
Okay, we just want to be accurate here. All right, what's this? Proposed ordinance 3348. Professional services agreement, establishment, administrative Marion Meadow Land Tax Increment Financing District between the city of Marion and Jacob Klein. And of course, they're the economic development group that handles our TIF business. So what's this about?
This would be undertaking a new TIF district, which would be several acres, actually quite a few acres, on the south side of Route 13. It would be almost across from the airport. Currently, it is one section that is 40-plus acres is owned by Craig Smith, who is putting together a large veterinarian clinic. He currently has a clinic across the street on the north side. And he is also has quite a few lots he'll be developing for commercial business that will stretch from Meadowland Parkway to Route 13. So we've got a large section there for future businesses. Right now, Glenn has looked at the site, and that land and the land immediately next to it, which is what is owned or was owned by Gene Webb and is owned by the beneficiaries of Gene Webb, also has been a farm and has a large number of acreage. The main problem in order to develop it for commercial real estate uses is it has some severe drainage issues, which makes it qualify. Our TIF consultants agree that it would qualify based upon Glenn Clarida's letters.
How much of this is in the corporate limits?
All of it.
All of it?
All of it except one house. I think the house where Mr. Webb lived is, but they won't be annexing that.
Well, if we're getting into the TIF, they've got to be in the corporate limits of the city.
Our consultant said it was except for the house, and we're looking at the deed on that one.
You sure it's Gene's house, or is it that white house to the east there?
No, it's all the way to, it runs into Glen Clarida Drive.
That's a nice drive to run into.
Which was former Circuit City Drive.
Yeah.
So it's a section, it goes from Glen Clarida Drive, there's the sections there, and there's some other land to the south, or to the east of that is not in the city limits, where there was a nursing
We're not
home.
including that, though, in the TIF district.
Yes. No, we're not including that.
Yeah, okay.
We're including just those, the acreage. Yeah. And what this is, the professional service agreement is just to hire the consultants to formulate all of the qualifications. As you know, with a new TIF, we have to have qualification study, we have to have public hearings, we have to notify taxpayers of a potential TIF area, we have to identify goals and objectives that the city wants to obtain, which would be quite a bit of infrastructure work, sewer, water, those things would have to be, and roads would all have to be developed or eventually dedicated to the city after the developers took the project. So this would be starting the qualification study and hiring Jacob and Klein and the Economic Development Group to do the work.
Will there be any access off of 13 there? Because I know several years ago, we split the cost of a study.
There could be a terminal drive, depending upon the development and the requirements and the need for another connector point at terminal.
Amount of traffic would have
Right
bearing.
now, with no traffic being generated, no way. But there has been a study made to determine what kind of access would be needed there, because if you're aware, there's a stop clock going one direction, there's not the other direction.
Right.
When you move out of the airport, you've got that long merging lane going east to get back into your line. That makes that difficult and expensive.
Oh, boy.
Four-way signal on the intersection. The study has been basically completed, outlining what it would take to get that done.
Well, Dr. Smith's, his access is all coming off of Glen Claire.
Meadowland Parkway.
Meadowland.
Even the construction has to use that.
Yeah.
Now, the chances are you would have to generate quite a bit of traffic, because IDOT is not anxious to have another access on the south side of Terminal Drive.
Well, you're really close to 148 there too, so I could see their concern. Yeah.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
Well,
Need a motion to approve the professional service agreement with Jacob and Klein.
I'll make that.
I'll second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Yay. Okay, resolution 2016-17. And what is that about?
This is an inducement agreement for CCS Real Estate Holding, which is Dr. Craig Smith's real estate. This would be the council acknowledging that this land would be included in a new TIF, the Meadowland Parkway TIF. And so it is approving that and acknowledging that the inducement agreement is to say that the city acknowledges that this ground will be included in a new TIF, if it would qualify.
Okay, what's your pleasure with respect to resolution 2016-17?
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Ranella,
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower,
Yay.
Commissioner Webb,
Yay.
Commissioner Goss,
Yay.
and Mayor Butler.
Okay. Okay, old business, talking about the discussion approval of the nuisance ordinance. What do you have to say about that, Commissioner Goss?
Well, we all had a chance to look it over, and I think in the packet, they put one in here, the revised one, I think they have. And I haven't seen anything that need to be changed in there, particularly for myself. I know Steve had suggested a word change on necessary to part, if I'm not mistaken, on the part of the business.
Where'd he go?
Steve?
That's the
Oh, Steve.
Oh, I was thinking the other Steve.
No, we're legal now.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't see much in there that I didn't like, but the rest of you read it.
I mean, a lot of the stuff we already have codified in our current ordinances, do we not? I mean, so why are we being redundant? I mean,
Jim Phoenix wanted to say something.
Well, I think that this fills in a lot of holes. We have some bad situations that we're not able to address with the current ordinances. Now, we have various kinds of ordinances that might relate to nuisance. They're scattered throughout. What this does is make one comprehensive ordinance. So, if the code enforcement people or the police are wanting to go out on a specific problem, they don't have to search around to see which ordinance they're going to be able to operate under, because this would cover it. This covers many. It covers some things that are not touched on by our various ordinances. Now, I know that Jim may have a little something to say about it.
Yeah, this ordinance really concerns, what really, I guess, really upset me, I guess, as much as anything, is this thing concerns my whole department as much as anything, is more than it does anybody else in this building. And I've been here for almost 13 years, going on 14, didn't stay there that long. And we have every ordinance that we needed to get our thing done. Anybody ever approached me to say anything about needing any kind of an ordinance till I seen this thing laying one day on my desk. And I don't appreciate it at all. And then they keep wanting to pass the thing. We've got an ordinance that's covering everything in our codification book that is on this ordinance. It's in a different location. The police have it on their computers that they can hit any button that they want. They'll have to reprogram all the computers to do it. We have to go back and recodify all of our ordinance that we've got, do away with all the ordinances that we already got to be able to pass this one ordinance. And I'm definitely against it. I don't have a vote and I don't have a lot of say, but I've had my say.
Let me ask you that. Well, no, Jim, you don't have to sit up there. There are some things that this ordinance here would put a penalty phase into that maybe some of the,
We've got one ordinance that I know of that we need to do something with. Or mowing ordinance, we can go ahead and, we don't have, we got, after the second time, we can do something with garbage we don't have. I have to give a person 7 days to pick up garbage, and then I can go pick it up. If I had, all I gotta do is add one sentence to the bottom of it, where I can go back, I don't have to give them final orders the second time, the 7 days. Other than that, we can handle anything we got.
So this would be unduly burdensome if we were...
I'm sorry?
Well, this would be unduly burdensome if we were to turn around.
Oh, no.
You know.
Yes, it would.
No, it just would be, to amend the existing ordinance.
It would also be a great expense to the police department to put all of the new ordinances and city ordinances into their computer system, because they're all of the ordinances are already there.
Well, of course, if you adopt this, all those other ordinances are repealed,
But
so you don't have to worry about a bunch of ordinances.
our ordinances are more efficient than what those are.
Well, now that is something I guess we need to have a little discussion about. Why don't,
I'm not ready to vote on this.
no, I was going to say, why don't John and Jim get together and go through, have a little discussion? How would that suit you? It doesn't suit me at all. You don't want to have a discussion? I thought we can have a discussion if we want to, yes. Well, that's, what is wrong with sitting down and talking face to face? Why didn't we start the discussion before the thing was first time? Let's forget the past, so I'm talking from this point on. Will you sit down with John, and will he sit down with you and have a discussion? Yes, I will. With that? Yes, I will. You'll be willing to do that? Yes. Okay. He'll be willing to do that. Now, the only question is, when do you guys get together?
Well, when do you want us to?
Immediately. Well, no, it's almost... Not tonight. It's almost 8 o'clock, so not tonight.
Yeah.
Pick a date.
We'll just get,
Jim, what'll be good for you?
they're both in this building every day.
Sure.
Because some of the
Well,
things...
all Steve will do is complicate things, but that's okay. That's all
I have
right.
a simple mind.
All right, when would be a good time for you, Steve?
I'll get with them right after this meeting is over.
Well, I don't know if right after this meeting would be a good time.
No,
Set a time.
to discuss what time's appropriate.
Oh, well, that's okay as long as you do it.
I promise to.
Okay, you, Jim, John, meet with Steve and set a time when the three of you will get together. Okay?
Suits me, fine.
Okay? And obviously, it's got to be okay with Steve.
On this too.
Okay, as soon as we adjourn, then you three guys get together and set a time. Okay? All right, we're making progress. Now, you got anything?
Yes.
Well, you better say it.
I make a motion to pay the monthly bills as funds become available.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yay.
And
Consent?
I make a motion to pay the consent agenda.
Second.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella?
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower?
Yay.
Commissioner Webb?
Yay.
Commissioner Goss?
Yay.
Mayor Butler.
Yay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Jim?
Yeah, just a quick report on July for the police department. We had 14 city ordinance violations, 18 warrant arrests, 105 traffic accidents, and 4 DUIs. And then
That's your cue.
fire department, we had a grand total of 62 call-outs, 11 were fire-related, and 24 were false alarms, and then some other miscellaneous. So, the department's been busy in July.
Oh, wait a minute. 24 false alarms. What did they consist of?
I'm assuming probably fire alarms going off.
Yeah, but why?
Well, storms, construction, a lot of different things play into it. You know,
Or some of those automatic, probably back to the fire department.
yeah, well, they go to a call center.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, what I'm concerned about, you get a false alarm, but they send a truck out, Then do we call in somebody to replace those guys that are out on the call?
Just depends on the call. They just depends on the call and the number of people on duty. They may or may not.
Was it still 3 or 4 false alarms and then there's a fine? Is that right? or-
Oh, it's 2, wasn't it?
What's that?
2. Yeah.
Those false alarms might not just be for fire, that could be for residential as well.
Yeah.
So if they got a home alarm and they accidentally set it off, well, they'll call the police department and
Yeah,
everything
and
else.
then,
False alarms are false alarms for all.
So on a third false alarm, there's a fine imposed.
Yeah, it's like $25.
Well, unless you have a situation like changing yeah,
That place.
changing seasons.
Yeah.
They've had false alarms, and they say, well, it was a deer, or a rabbit, or a skunk, or a possum, or a groundhog. And the alarm went off because it went across the
well,
property.
when I was fire chief, our biggest violators were the high rises, our city high rises, and back in the day, the Marion Memorial Hospital. So, but that's because they had antiquated alarm systems.
Do we have much at the hospital now? I wonder.
No.
I know for a while back there,
Yeah.
they were experiencing a lot of false alarms.
You let one of these firms that's putting in all this underground fiber optic, you let them nick a line, and you may get 3 or 4 different alarms in at one time. You take one lightning strike in an area, you may get a half a dozen alarms from a particular area. So, I mean, it's just like Jim said, they'll list it false alarm. Somebody burns toast, burns something on the stove, there's actually no fire, they'll list it as a false alarm. So, I mean, it's kind of sometimes it's a misnomer as to what actually happened, but, you get a residential alarm, those people
Well,
are
we got
paying for
no
that.
choice.
We're
We got no
going.
choice, yeah. Okay, I haven't said anything else, Jim.
No, that's all.
I cover all that good for you, Jim.
Yeah, thank you.
Take the heat off of you.
Yes. Would you like me to mention, Terrence, you have a new celebrity in your family, the queen of the, what is she now? His daughter was elected queen and crowned at the Williamson County Fair, is that correct?
Oh, my, congratulations.
Fortunately, wait a minute. All that means is he married right.
Yeah, I was going to say, that
She looks like her mother.
had to come from the mother.
Yeah, that's all that means.
Holy cow.
And now in the street department, as everyone knows, been doing a lot of work. We had a lot of inquiries, Mayor, about oil and chip and why, and just to explain that, we should have done this earlier. This base that we're putting down is a mixture of light oil and chip that makes a base for what we call the micro seal cover. And that when that's finished, if you're going out Broken Road and some of the golf course road, you'll see they are finished with black finish. So those people just put up with the gravel and the oil for a day, and usually the next day or two they will be covered with Microsoft.
Smith Street, they came in this morning and put down the first course, first layer, and by 4 o'clock, they had all 3 layers down, and Smith Street is as slick as a peeled egg. It is really great.
And they all will be.
And the unfortunate part about it is that people see the first layer oil and chip come,
Yeah.
and they want to, why are you ruining a perfectly good street?
Yeah, we had a lot of calls. And also tomorrow, need to call attention to the fact that they will be working on West Main from Boswell to Plains, and there'll be a 1-lane traffic with a flagger starting at about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Am I wrong or right on that? And yeah, and today they did Smith and Gregory and Morningside, Feetsum, Oakshire, State Street from Red Road to Long Street. That was all done today.
They're really moving.
Now then, tomorrow, or Wednesday and Thursday night, I think they plan to do night work out on Bainbridge and the Pentecost, the Williamson County Parkway, and Carbon Street from Hardee's to D. Young. Am I right on that?
You're right. There'll be, because there's too much traffic during, there will be lane closed. There will always be 1 lane open.
You're right.
It will be always have one lane open. Now, some of these lane closures could last from 4 to 8 hours.
Right,
But if they do, there'll be flaggers over there directing traffic
right.
to the adjoining lanes.
But once the final micro seal is put down, it's actually drivable in 20 minutes, right? But they,
Pretty close to that.
I mean,
An hour would be safe, but sometimes it's, they like to have 2 days, 1 to 2 days between the oil and chip and the micro seal on it. And they're doing, for instance, tomorrow on West Main, they put the oil and chip down today, and they had some problems with it because some of the aggregate came out wet, and they got oil, and they had to put more chips on it, and it was tough there for a section of it. But tomorrow they're going to put the micro seal on West Main.
Right.
I think that's what John was
Yeah.
saying. And they will probably have one lane closed 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
But there'll be flagmen out there directing
Oh,
the
yeah.
traffic. So you might want to bypass West Main tomorrow.
Yeah, Trey didn't want to mention to them.
Yeah.
Glenn, I've also heard people ask about the temporary striping, because some of it's the little short strips that are crooked, so, but I've assured them that we'll go back and stripe everything.
We're going back.
It's just temporary
The
striping.
city's doing the striping. John's crew will do
This way.
no, they'll do the permanent striping, and also the reflectors were taken up, and there'll be new reflectors put down on the center line all the way through too. But they say don't stripe. You need to let that cure out for 5 to 6 days. What that is, that's an emulsion. Emulsion's got water in it. They need to make sure all the water is evaporated and gone before you put your paint on.
Now, all we need to do is to figure out how to keep all the people in Marion informed. Now, that is up to the media, Shay.
Yes.
And
it was on 92.
And we got the Star over there.
Oh, no,
We got the Discovery. We got all that.
96.2.
you don't even know what the channel is.
No, it's
Holy
going on
mackerel.
digital
All the
TV.
streets will be done the same process, right?
It's on our.
No, just some of it, Microsoft, some of the asphalt.
doing it, part of it's going to be hot mix asphalt.
Okay, yeah.
It's a two-pronged process. We're paying for the micro sealing out of motor fuel.
Okay.
The hot mix asphalt is being paid for out of gas tax and road and bridge.
But what I'm getting at, none of them will be left oil and chipped over.
Oh, no,
asphalt. Okay.
no.
Because I have seen that done in other places, I just want to make sure.
No.
Yeah.
This is Marion, Jim, we don't do that.
It's
Yeah.
called micro seal, it's a one-shot application. They call Cape Seal the two-shot.
Yeah.
That's the A1 layer of oil and chips, and they come over with the micro seal and seal that.
And I understand, Glenn, that the contractors said they'd done work on I-64, 57, I-24, everywhere. And they commended the Marion crew who had done all this hot mix, all the
Crack filling?
crack filling.
Yeah, it looks good.
We have done a beautiful job, and they did not have to patch one piece that we did. So I want to congratulate our crew.
I guess we can
And you for letting us buy the crack sealer.
Yeah, and let me tell you what, John, to back you up on that, the contractor told me there'd be $1.50 to $2 a foot for crack filling.
Sure,
And you can see how many cracks has
Oh,
been filled.
my.
yeah.
And which, this was done with the machine, and
We did it in our department.
that's right. And Doug says, once it gets done, he'll go to the concrete streets, over CIPS on the east side, there's cracks in that concrete, he'll put crack sealer in that and seal those up. And what the purpose of that is, you can keep the water from getting down underneath your pavement
Yeah.
and deteriorating it out.
And another positive would be, it keeps us from having to do the asphalt overlay for 6 or 7 years, so
You bought a lot more time.
there's a good cost benefit to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think we've done about 14,000 square yards of micro seal when we get through. That's what Doug told me today.
That's about right.
Pretty close.
That's close.
That's a lot of micro seal, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got, Mayor.
Okay, that being the case, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
We didn't ask for any public comments. Public comments?
No.
Over here.
Public
I
comment.
mean, we haven't asked anybody if they had something to say. We usually do that in the beginning. Why didn't we? Anybody have something you want to bring up? See, I knew it wasn't necessary. Harry, don't you have something?
Harry,
I have one.
Okay.
I'm a little concerned about the article in the Southern that I read about the nuisance ordinance, and I just kind of wondered what the genesis was for that discussion and bringing that to the council.
You're talking about the nuisance ordinance?
Yes.
Oh, what the genesis was. Well, John?
Well, we've had complaints, Buddy, for years about, and I'm sure you're well aware of being on the street department, of places in this town that are really need to be cleaned up. You know that.
House
And-
or junk, or what exactly?
And what we've been told through the years is that our ordinance did not have the teeth to do anything about them. Now, we've come up with an ordinance that has teeth. Now then I understand that there might be some teeth in the old ordinances that we weren't aware of. And if that be the truth, then, if that be the case, then that'd be fine. But we've been told, look at Duncan and Hendrickson Street. You're around, you see them. I could show you half a dozen of them that are bad. And we've tried to get those cleaned up. There's one down on Calumet Street right now that we can't get cleaned up. But with this new ordinance, we can get it cleaned up. Now, if Jim has got in his ordinances and code book that says that they have got the teeth to do what we want done, so be it. But to this date, till we got started on this, we've been told they couldn't do that by the police and by other people, not just the code.
So what about Duncan and Henderson do you have a problem with?
Have you looked at the house there and the rubbish in there?
What kind of rubbish? You talking?
Well, you can see what it is.
I'll tell you what, I went by there Saturday, and they had, and I guess the word had got out to them, they had 2 pickup loads worth of junk
Yeah.
that they had picked up just out of their yard. Now, where they were taking it to, I don't have any idea, but they were in the process of leaving that yard. And, I mean, it was piled over. And my problem with that particular, and we've gotten into this discussion before, we know that everybody doesn't live the same, I live a particular way, you live a particular way, but, and so do they. And the fact is, some of us can afford to live better than others, and that's sad. And, but at the same time, every time we fill a trash bag, we don't need to throw it out the back door either. And that particular place there has been a culmination of many, many years of just neglect of just not doing nothing, just not throwing any of their trash away. There's appliances out there. They used crates as to keep their dogs in. I don't know what happened to them poor dogs. I don't even want to think about that. But but they are trying to clean it up now. I know that it's got a new roof on it. So I think that bodes well. But I mean, we got several areas in this town, and you're talking about a house there that is on a major, and it doesn't matter, but it's on a major thoroughfare through Marion, leading to 2 of our schools. And
Can I interrupt you a minute?
yes, you may.
Okay, I went out and talked to the people myself and told them that their place would have to be cleaned up. And I said, you got more than 7 days worth of trash, but I want to give you 1 month to clean it up. I went the month and didn't get cleaned up. We did give the man a ticket to get it cleaned up. He calls me about every other day about what they went around the storage building and starting to put the stuff in it. And he's in the process, he's hauled about 6 loads of it.
Yeah, he is.
Only got 100.
Yeah.
We're in the process of cleaning it up, and he hasn't been talked to.
Yeah.
And the ordinance that we got handled it.
Okay, that should answer your question. Now I think we would accept a motion to adjourn.
I'm having fun.
You satisfied?
Yeah, I was concerned, I don't want anybody's property rights to be violated. I mean, I'm all in favor
Hey, you
of
take
that.
second seat to us when it comes to protecting property rights. That is a priority for this council.
You guys are the gatekeepers, and I just want to make sure that
We appreciate your concern, and we thank you for that. Now, motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Well, yes.
Okay, call the roll.
Commissioner Vanella.
Yay.
Commissioner Hightower.
Yay.
Commissioner Webb.
Yay.
Commissioner Goss.
Yay.
And Mayor Butler.
Yeah.
I tell you what I do want to know is,